What we're working on with National Geographic, which you referenced, is trying to get the curriculum builders in K through 12 to build curriculum on top of GISs. So kids today learn GISs in high schools all across the world, and they really are, they're learning GIS. But what National Geographic has in mind is that they learn geography using GIS as a sort of almost an invisible platform. Well, this is more than simply learning GIS or simply learning other curriculum. It's a whole spectrum from really high school kids, instead of taking woodshop or playing basketball or learning sports, they're learning GIS, project-based learning, to the idea that GIS is enabling spatial learning in things like history or in biology or in social sciences of all types. So that's a spectrum. So when we say we want to get GIS into a new generation of kids, some of them are going to be problem solvers, just like GIS professionals are, and they'll grow up and really take meaningful. Other ones will just become more spatially literate. And our big hope is that the combination of these things create a new generation. National Geographic's calling it Gen Geo, the generation of geographically literate kids who play with and understand geography and its implications. They act better. They are better citizens. They're better environmentally conscious people. They're better engineers. They're better planners. They're better thinkers. They're better consumers, because they understand all of the science of geography and GIS in its digital form. So one of the big challenges for me is encouraging this connection between GIS professionals and educators, so that educators are taught, they're made to realize the excitement that all of us share about GIS. You know, the lights go on for these teachers, and they will turn the lights on. Actually, they have to sort of step aside in many ways, and the kids are just going to go after this like crazy. That's my real experience. You know, in the old days, a lot of the members of ERISA were teachers, professors at MIT, Joe Ferreira, for example, or Alan Schmidt or others. There was a large percentage of ERISA members that were in university. And there was an attempt in early time periods to get teachers to, in the K through 12 environments, also to be ERISA members. So you made an interesting statement. You said, them over there versus us in here. But if ERISA began to think about holistically, teachers are the magical people, and you brought them into your organization and got them as excited and introduced to the world that you live in, this would be very cool. Another dimension is emerging, which is looking outward to kids. And we've known for decades that kids are attracted to GIS technology, and there's been lots of experiments from Get the Lead Out in Detroit to the Roosevelt High School in Los Angeles to schools in Virginia, experimental work going on. But it's always been a labor of love. ERISA members being geo-mentors with the teacher and trying to get them engaged and doing something. But I think that's now matured to a level where the big players in education are beginning to realize GIS as a platform is actually something. It's actually something that we should share with kids. So if we look at a societal level, what's going on, I think we need kids to get engaged. When you talk to a young child, they're thrilled about the idea that they could actually participate in something like science or technology, but they don't know exactly how. So we traditionally have taught them things, but they've not been engaged like project-based learning that is now becoming a possibility with GIS in the web and in the cloud. Esri has built a new relationship with National Geographic, and the relationship is all about building curriculum on top of a GIS so that it can magically be integrated into all sorts of the social science disciplines and physical sciences as well. And so they're going to be building curriculum that's going to be freely available with our software, which is also freely available to every single K through 12 child in the world. And our vision is that we will build teacher capacity and student capacity like crazy over the next 5 years. I mean, my colleague, Vicki Phillips at National Geographic imagines building at least 1 million teachers who are GIS literate in the next 5 years. You think about that. That's a lot.
That's amazing.
It's a lot of work. And also she wants to reach 25 million students. Right now we're at about 250,000 students a year that take GIS training in different schools. So this is about scaling it up. And to really make that scaling up happen, it isn't just teachers going to school. Teachers have a full-time job. Teachers need to have friendships with people that actually are GIS professionals. And this is really where I think there's a huge opportunity to have some fun by yourselves to start with your own kids, adopt a school, adopt a teacher, and get engaged in their teaching activities. Like if you find teachers that actually are interested, then invest in them and invest in them heavy. So look, I started off saying we have lots of problems in the world, and those problems are going to require people like yourselves, but times 100, people that actually get geography, get the possibility of what integrating all kinds of information is all about, to come up with integrated holistic solutions. And I'm talking quickly and abstractly, but I think all of you in ERISA get what I'm talking about. Building that next generation of kids that can address climate change and loss of biodiversity and better planned cities and more livable cities and smart cities and all those goals that we aspire to address, well, that's going to take, we're not going to be able to do it just among ourselves. We got to get a next generation going. And that means going full in getting kids involved and teachers involved. So that's
for those of you listening to this conversation who are part of this conversation, even though you're not in these, this digital realm that we're discussing this, let's just say that our hope in having this conversation with Jack is that it'll inspire you to help us spread the word of what we're doing, to get involved with your communities, to get involved with your local schools, and to be a mentor in this world, because as we move forward, as we keep talking about, we can't do it ourselves on this phone call. The four of us can't fix everything, but together as a community and as a society and as a group, we can move mountains, right? Well, I mean, geographically speaking. So just again, thank you all so much for being part of this conversation. And Jack, we'll look forward to catching up with you soon and continuing this in the next topic.
Yeah, I want to come back to New England one of these days.